So we're back again with another episode of Twilight Princess. In the last episode, we have basically cleared the village, or Kakarika village, of its enemies. That being a King Bulbin, which he basically tried to kidnap us for the second time, but he failed. In this episode, we're going to tackle Goron Mines and Death Mountain in this episode. But before we do that, I actually have somebody here with me who hasn't really seen this game or gotten the chance to. With that being said, what is your name, sir?
Hey guys, it's Whatjamagiveit or What's Here, but it doesn't matter which one you call me. I'm here as a special guest for this episode, along for the ride. And yeah, that's right, I haven't actually really played this game before or really seen much of it at all. It's one of the few of the 3D Zelda games that I haven't actually seen like hardly anything from, unlike the others. So this will be my first time experiencing some of this stuff in this game, so that'll be an interesting reaction for me. But thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. But for here, we're actually getting past the Gorons here, because for whatever reason, they do not want us to come through. But if you do not have the iron boots, you will not get through here at all. This will suck. But since we have them, we can basically toss the Gorons off the cliff.
I love that. I love that. That was that was nice.
And these guys will come as surprise, so be prepared. If you get trampled by them, it actually takes a bit of a damage. So
yuck! Just get him out of there.
Just basically yeeting him off this cliff, pretty much. Here comes another.
For Link. Here he is, and he. Whoa! That's
at least
awesome.
we could say, that Link does not skip Arm Day.
No, no. It's the leg day people have to be worried about. Nobody wants to skip arm day. That's the best day if you're gonna go to the gym. That's the best day.
I mean, hey, he's not skipping leg day either because he's walking in iron boots.
Well, that's true. I mean, Link's probably in better shape than a lot of people are. I mean, he scales mountains, he throws rocks, and just uses a sword all the time, which has to give him like absolutely shredded arms. So I'm sure he's in excellent shape. He doesn't need to go to the gym anytime soon. Let's just put it that way.
What I was actually going to bring up is that this is the only game where I actually see Link without a shirt on, because he actually practices sumo wrestling back in Ordon Village in the beginning of the game.
Oh, really? Interesting.
That dude has a frickin' 8-pack, I'm not even joking.
Yeesh. Well, I mean, that's to be expected. Link is probably pretty shredded, I mean. No surprise there.
Coming over here, we can see that these Gorons are actually saying a bit of some words behind our sleeping back, you know? I have no idea what they're saying, but it is not good. Let's just assume that, you know what I mean? I warned Wooja that my Australian accent might pop up in this episode, so...
And I said that was perfectly fine, because there's nothing wrong with a little bit of pizzazz, you know, added in there. Accents are basically just a little bit of pizzazz people use. I mean, to be fair, we all have one, so I'm using my American accent right now.
Well, we can say that the sky just took a giant dookie on us. Cause look at this steaming pile of doo-doo, you know what I mean? Whoa, this looks dangerous. Is this the traditional Death Mountain welcome? Eehee. Oh, Minna, what a character. Anyway. Getting right past that, we actually went to fight these Gorons so we can get up on top of the cliff. Yay for that. So.
It's interesting to see the Gorons, like, you having to actually attack them in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Usually it's not typically like that where you're fighting them.
Because these guys are like so wholesome after you beat this dungeon, but like beforehand they just like say, hey, leave. I don't respect you.
Leave us alone. This does look good. I will admit, this game looks pretty good, and from what I'm seeing here, I like the way it looks, the way it seems to be styled here in the gameplay so far. And a lot of people are probably gonna wonder, like, oh, how comes you haven't seen this game at all, like out of all of them or whatever? But I just haven't really gotten the chance to look at it much, because I played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and I watched all of Wind Waker. I don't actually own that game, so I've watched playthroughs of that. I never got around to Twilight Princess. I had it. The reason I never did is because I got it at one point, a while ago, and I just never got the chance to play it. Like, stuff came up, I got really busy back then, whatever, and I never got the chance to play it, so I just was holding off like a while. I was like, oh, I might play it someday, and then I never really did get around to it. So and then I've seen some of Skyward Sword, even though I haven't played it, and I've played all Breath of the Wild, so this is just the one I've seen the least of. So it's not that I don't like it. It looks like a good game, so I'm excited to get to see some of it here. And I'm liking what I'm seeing here. This is a unique idea for a dungeon, like having to use these guys
absolutely.
higher. The fact that you can bounce off their heads and stuff. And actually getting to fight Gorons, too. Like, it's not something I've seen in the other games, really. It's not like they're not really usually an enemy, so I like that as well, I will say.
Oh, yeah. Because Gorons, like, knowing them, they're just like the most wholesome characters in any Zelda game. But before you go in here, you want to equip your iron boots, because if you trigger the cutscene without them, there is no way to put them on. You will fail the first sumo wrestle. So be warned. Anyway, with that being said, let's trigger the cutscene. There's no way I'm going to take all these guys out at once. Enough!
Oh
Hello,
my god.
Hello, Big Belly Daddy. Anyway.
Your Highness, nice to meet you.
I am a Goron Elder, little human. I am called Goron. Nice name, I guess. Because of certain circumstances, I must lead Goron tribe at a place of Darbus, our tribal patriarch. Tell me, little human, do you come from the village below? You have done well to come this far. You are strong for a human. However, the mines beyond here are sacred to my tribe. Outsiders are not allowed, unless... That smile.
He suddenly changes all of a sudden.
I could make an exception, but you would have to beat me in a contest of power. Are you willing to try that, little human? Sure, why not?
You're on, old man.
Bring it on. Get those gnarly fists ready. What am I seeing? He has stretch marks? I'm kidding.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Back in my day, we didn't have Twilight Princess. We had regular old Legend of Zelda that was two-dimensional on a Nintendo.
Back in my day, we all used to wrestle our elders to get respect. That's how we did it in the tribal village.
Get this guy out of my face.
Very interesting. This is very unique gameplay here. The fact that you're having to do these kind of like sparring matches here, like this. That's actually really interesting to see. Oh, and you just flopped him right out of there. Like,
yeah, it's the RNG for these like little sumo wrestling things are like really like random, to be honest, because you can lose, you can win. It all depends. You have seen it, I would bet. The mountain erupting without pause. When the mountain began to rage, all four of us elders, and Darbus, our patriarch, went inside to investigate its anger. We have a treasure that was entrusted to us by the spirits, and we must protect it. Do you understand? But the moment Darbus reached out and touched the treasure, everything went wrong. He collapsed, and before our very eyes transformed into an unspeakable monster. He began to rage through the mines, trailing ruin behind him, and the eruptions grew more frequent and more severe. We used all of our strength to seal him deep inside the mountain. You basically trapped your patriarch away without even consenting. That's Goron abuse right there, to be honest.
SMH.
I ask this favor of you, young warrior. Go to the aid of Darbus. Make no mistake, the spirits have guided you here. I, Goron, need your help. On behalf of my entire clan, I ask for your aid. You two, let the young warrior pass.
That's right. Move out of the way, peasants. We have the blessing of the elder.
But before we actually go into the Goron Mines, let's get sharpened up for a bit of the old ultra-violence. Yet again. Yes, that is a reference from Clockwork Orange, because it's a good film. It's a good film. It's a great 1970 film, or 71, depending on whichever year it came out.
Yeah, we were just talking about that beforehand. I have not seen that movie myself, admittedly, but you said it was a movie by Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick. It's not a bad film, actually. It is kind of freaky, I'll say that, but again, it's probably not something that you would see on the daily. Just be ready, I guess.
Fair enough.
Anyway, heading right down here. And again, before you actually head into this dungeon, you want to make sure that you have the howling shield. It's not required, but if you want to keep this standard Ordon shield, get the howling shield, because if that burns, the Ordon shield burns, you will not see it again. Just be warned. Anyway, hit this switch and turn off this guy.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they were going for more of a like serious look with this game coming out of Wind Waker. I wanted to make this. They definitely did a completely different style, which I definitely think looks good. I like the style.
Oh yeah, I like the style of the dungeon too. I gotta say, out of the first 3 dungeons in the game, this is like my all-time favorite.
Well, I like the style of the dungeon too. I meant like just the game in general. Like the graphic style is completely different from Wind Waker, but I think it's good. I like the way they do it in this one.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, up along here, and again, be prepared for those guys falling off the ceiling, because if you run into one, he will knock you back, and you have to go back and hit the switch again. So just be prepared. Watch me just forget, and I hit him anyway. I swear.
Then that would be funny, and
not today.
All the viewers can laugh.
Anyway, head on to this switch. Press it down with our boots. That didn't sound right at all, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Open this gate, and doo-ba-doo-doo.
Open the gate. Who do you hate? Why don't you marry them?
Did you just ask me why don't I marry fire slugs?
Well, if you hate them.
Do you take fiery slug to be your waffly cakey wedded wife?
I do see they're pretty caked up. I'm gonna say I used to be hitting all the people with that in elementary school. To open the gate, who do you hate? I was full of power back then.
Open the gate, who do you hate? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, now that we have this key, we want to jump up here, and basically, you can basically bypass these little spinning platforms. I get. Okay.
Oh my God! Wow, that almost ended disaster.
That was like, I'm not about to take a heart damage, to be honest.
Link was like, nope, 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 nope. Turned around and grabbed the ledge real quick.
Anyway, coming across here. This room can be a little bit tricky if you don't know the timing for these
Is that
fire
a
fountains.
Dodongo?
That is a Dodongo, actually. The new Dodongos.
Oh my God. They're back. And
they're back.
Back and as beautiful as ever.
They're back and I'm front. Anyway.
They got... Look at that.
Take him out. And
Slashing
this
that
block
tail.
is... And this block is what I was actually referring to, because if you see through the fence, you can see those fire fountains kind of raising up. And you do not want to let this thing go until those fire fountains... Yep, see that? Make sure they raise, and then time it right, jump down, and jump this way. And then you can roll past it like this. Easy enough.
There you go.
And what's really doesn't make any sense to me at all is how powerful these boots are when it comes to this upcoming thing right here, which is the one thing. I know that you said you haven't played Twilight Princess before, but this will be something that'll definitely surprise you, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm interested to see what that is.
Yep.
Obviously the classic being able to walk underwater and
The iron boots are magnetic.
Oh!
And yes, Link can walk up walls. It's the weirdest thing ever.
That's pretty interesting, actually. I can see why people like this game. I think it's a favorite for some people. I mean, I hear always good things about it, so...
I thought I felt a presence, but I'm young surprised to find a young human. Well, it's good to meet all of you. If Goron has faith in you, and his heart must be true. I'm one of the 4 Goron elders. I am Goron Mines is my name. You are a heroic young human. Please, you must lend this tribe your power.
And we get a key shard. Awesome. And yes, you need 3 of these to form the big key, so this is like one out of like every single dungeon that you actually don't get the standard big key, which is kind of funny.
This is an interesting concept, yeah, instead of having to find the big key.
And with that, we have the map. Here for that. And I did mention before, not a single chest in any dungeon will be left unopened. However, there is actually one in this dungeon that requires another item in the game to actually get to, so do not worry. I have it marked down on my chart of 100% completion. I will be going back and getting it. I'll just say that it is the item of the next dungeon after this. Which is, I think, is nice that they put the next dungeon after, so you can just get the item and come back here and get the chest. But for now, we have... Oh, no.
Oh, my God. That
It's
pot
a
is
bird.
alive.
It's
Ew.
a bird with titties
What
on
is
it.
that?
This... Okay, I'll introduce you to Oocca. This is Oocca. She is basically a bird that actually helps you get through the dungeon. If you want to warp out, you can get something. And,
What is that? Why does it look so funny? It looks like it's got like a human head on it.
she's a bird with titties on it. I'm not joking.
What? Oh God.
Which is why I'm sure this game is rated T for teen, because there's buttocks at some point, but anyway.
Oh my. Nintendo was getting a little saucy at this one, I guess, huh? My God.
If it gets too spicy, I'll cut off the recording. Anyway.
No, I'm
This is-
allowed to see these things. My mom said I'm allowed to see it.
Mom! Let me watch it. Actually, this is the part that actually does take a while, but what actually makes you go faster instead of just walking like this, you get to swing your sword and kind of like take double steps like this.
Yeah, I guess otherwise it would be a pretty long walk. I guess you go pretty slow in those.
Oh, definitely. That being said, you can actually hop off of here, and with this, we get what? What is it? A piece of heart. Awesome.
Nice.
And we can actually come up here and then go back. Yay for that. Anyway, get the sword out and be prepared for the slugs that await us. Going back.
I guess the pieces of heart are a little, slightly a little different design in this game, but still pretty similar. So I know they usually try to make them vary just slightly in each game, it seems like. So.
I mean, they don't look bad. They don't look bad at all, actually.
No, I like them. I just thought I was just taking note of that they look just a little bit different from the other one, which is actually a good thing. I mean, it's nice to see.
Anyway,
so one thing
read
I'm
the
sure
map.
that. Oh, go ahead.
oh, nothing. I was just gonna say, if you read the map, you can actually tell where the next room is. But you were saying.
Oh, I see that. I was gonna say, I'm sure one thing that people probably, I know this is like, this could be a fan favorite for some people because I do hear a lot of things, positive things about it. But I'm sure there's probably a debate as to whether, like, which version is better, since there's a couple different versions. So I'm sure that people probably debate that. Like he was telling me before the recording that this is actually, the Wii version is mirrored from the GameCube version, which I did not know. That's very interesting. And then obviously he said the HD one has an option for either, which is also interesting. And then this one has motion control, which I'm sure some people like and some people don't like. So there's definitely probably debate, I'm sure, amongst the fans, which is the best. But I'd be curious, I guess, if anybody in the comments has a preference which one they prefer, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm actually skipping this cutscene, so and that was basically no use at all. If you skip the cutscene, that razor over there would basically stay on this, so you can like save like an extra 10 seconds, but it didn't work.
Oh.
So anyway, so I gotta wait.
So I guess Little Saw, is this? I'm assuming, is this your preferred version of the game then, the Wii version, since that's what you're doing the LP on, or is it just because this is the version you have?
I own both the GameCube and the Wii version. What's funny though is I would do the HD version, but that's like the one version that I haven't 100% completed because it has stamps, unlike this. Unlike this version. So I don't know where all the stamps are.
So you're saying that the HD is your preferred one, or is this one? I'm not sure.
Probably this version, only because
like this
I
one,
understand where to go and everything, and I'm used to the layout mostly.
So you're used to how it is in this one, the reversed version.
Absolutely.
So you don't mind
Anyway.
motion controls. You like the motion controls in this?
I'll say this: this version of Twilight Princess actually does not take up as much battery life and motion control as Skyward Sword does in the Wii version.
Yeah, I think I did hear that.
Yeah, the Switch version is like much more lenient when it comes to battery life. So just be noted of that. I don't know why this block is here. You can basically.
I think also like a lot of the motions in like Skyward Sword involves a lot more of swinging the remote than this does, from what I've heard in the past. Is that true? That you have to do a lot more?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
You have to raise the remote. You have to like raise the remote like skyward and all. Get it? Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
We'll get it someday.
Fair enough. So I guess that's probably people that don't like motion controls as much probably would like this version better than Skyward Sword, since it's not as heavy on it.
Yeah, for sure. But we get to activate the magnetism on this wall, and what this is gonna lead to something pretty nice later on. In just a minute, actually. If I can line ourselves up, there we go. Then jump, iron boots, and boom.
Woo, Geronimo!
If there's one, okay, I know it's just a game. I know that it's just like not real. But in real life, I wonder, from scale to 1 to 10, how motion sick would you get from this?
Oh god, well honestly, if this were real life, I think a lot of the things Link is doing would probably kill him.
I didn't hit the switch. I didn't hit the switch.
Uh-oh.
Be right back. Anyway, we're back.
There you go.
And because we're back, and because we hit the switch, we get to open this gate. Awesome.
But anyway,
here we can go through.
I was gonna say, I think a lot of the stuff that Link does, if this were real life, would probably kill him. Like, I think, for instance, when you just jumped off there like that, the force of that impact of him going against that wall like that probably would, like, crush his legs. And,
His brain would be goo at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
And when he uses that, like, hook shot, I think there was even a video by, like, Game Theory at one point about how the hook shot would, like, completely just rip his arm off if he tried to use the hook shot the way that the game does it. So like, definitely I think it's in Link's own best interest that the Zelda physics are not like real life, or he would he would not be in good shape.
Yeah, but like what's hilarious is like I think they just made Link jacked in this game, which basically makes him endure like whatever he has to go through.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if he wasn't, I mean, he's shredded. That's the theme of this video. We're just talking about how absolutely in shape.
We're talking about Link's like aesthetic body shape, which is hilarious.
Link's Greek god body that gets all the Hyrulean ladies.
Link can grow a beard like the size of a palm tree. I'm not even joking.
And yet he chooses to remain clean-shaven for the ladies.
Clean-shaven Link. I wonder how Link would look with a beard. I'm not even joking.
I don't know. I mean, I personally like beards because I have one myself. Not like a big one, but I do like.
I got some
hair,
designer stubble.
Facial hair can look good, I think. So Link could rock a nice beard. He might look you.
Yeah. But before we move on, there is one chest down here. Where is it? Where is it?
Oh,
there it is.
There they
Again,
go.
I already mentioned before, not a single chest will be left unopened in any dungeon. In the overworld, outside of the dungeon, I could basically be more lenient on chests because you don't need them, but at dungeons, I'm gonna get every single thing that I can get. So, aim for that.
That's fair enough. And that's 50 rubies. I mean, you can't just leave that behind.
I am a little nervous because in Twilight Princess, if your wallet gets full, which is like 100 rupees away from being full, the chest will not let you take the rupee. It will make you put it back. Be like, hey, this doesn't fit in your wallet. You gotta put it back. You can't take it. It's so dumb. If there's one thing I would change about Twilight Princess, it's that. It's like, you're making me backtrack for no reason.
Well, I guess you have to try to spend up that money.
Oh, absolutely. There is a chest over there, but I can't get to it just yet. So just be ready for that. And
Not
heading
yet.
up here. Get ready for impact. Upside down.
Okay. Oh, this is kind of cool. That's neat.
And run. Run.
I mean, from what I'm seeing here of the game, it definitely holds up to the standards of the other Zelda games in terms of its creativity and puzzles and so on. So definitely can see why it's a pretty good game. Oh my!
What the hell?
It's
What did you have to
Mr.
say?
Long, Tan, and Handsome.
Oh, you young human. I'm pleased that you can share this far, brother. You look like a nice big hunky man. Take that shirt off, boy.
I'm not gonna.
Oh no! Oh, what would you like to come
I'm not
to my
gonna-
basement and get some popsicles? Like you nice young strapping lad. My name's Herbert the Pervert Family Guy, and I'm suddenly in Zelda now. And I
I don't even know if that's like a guy or a woman.
Oh.
There's no woman Gorons in this game. It's hilarious.
Yeah, they're like a one gender species or something like that. I like all. I don't think
It's
there
the
are there
weirdest thing.
women Goron in any Zelda game? Are they all? I think they're all just guys.
Not that I know of.
I
Not
think
that I know
it's
of.
supposed to be like there's only just guys. Like there are no women. They're just a one gendered like race or something like that. I think
It
there's
must be guys, be
there's
like-
supposed to be some special way that they reproduce. And it's not like
Reproduce.
it's not
They're literally made of rocks.
exactly like they don't actually reproduce like creatures would. Like I don't know. They probably have. I swear I've read it somewhere before, but they do something else. Like they have new rocks and stuff just to come. I don't know, something like that. If anybody knows in the comments, I guess you can let us know. But I think it's supposed to be like, yeah, they have a different way of how that works.
Anyway, what's exciting is, oh, you're gonna love this guy. This is the mini boss. He's hilarious. Anyways, let's actually go up to him and say hello.
Hello.
Hey, Big Daddy Biscuit. Whoa, human. What business does a human have coming here? None. No business. This is a forbidden place. I protect this treasure from you. And how many steroids did he take before this? Anyway,
a lot.
pretty easy fight. This is a pretty easy fight, actually. What you want to do is kind of lure him over to the corner really quick, put your boots on, and wait for him to raise up his stupid arms, and then hit his stupid stomach, grab him, and just toss him into the lava.
See, here we have the natty Link versus the non-natty mid-boss. Who's taking steroids. Two different
Oh my gosh.
shredded men, two different stories.
I guess we're going into that.
Anyway, I just looked up about Gorons reproducing. They said that there's only theories, but they say they think they reproduce asexually by just building new infant Gorons off the rocky growths of their backs. Is the theory. I don't
They
know.
have
if
rock warts. That's basically a pimple for a Goron. I mean, like, it's just a giant hole with smoke coming out of it.
Pimple
It's weird.
babies.
Pimple babies?
The pimple grows
Baby
large
pimples.
enough and then they just fall off and become a being.
That is, like, the most descriptive way to describe a Goron in Twilight Princess, or really any Zelda game of that matter.
True story that happened to my buddy Eric once. His pimple just kind of grew off and fell into a baby.
With skills like yours, even the Patriarch had brought back to his senses. Take the hero's weapon and save our Patriarch.
So you're nice all of a sudden? Well,
Wow, he's
See
seen
you
the
later.
error of his ways. He's gonna stop using steroids at the gym and be natural.
that guy can lift an Atlas stone before I beat him. I don't know if you've seen the video on YouTube called Guy Heaven. It's like Sam Hyde or something. I don't know. It just reminds me of that.
I've heard of Sam Hyde. I've seen some of that stuff. He's definitely well known on the internet, but I've not seen that. I've not seen that.
Then we get the
video.
bow and arrow.
Nice.
So to use this, and yes, you can upgrade this. Not to change the topic, but you can actually upgrade this thing. You can go from 60 arrows to 100 arrows. you can upgrade the quiver twice. So just be ready. Anyway. Well, with our limit is 30, we can actually do some things. So let's take a step back. And these are the Beamos. These are the Beamos in Twilight Princess. They look kind of ancient. It's kind of funny. But
they definitely look ancient. They look like just some nice little rocks. There you go. But just like any classic Zelda game, now that you have the bow and arrows, you want to shoot everything in the eye.
Everything in the eye.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid. What are you doing?
That is the running theme of Zelda games. Is if there is an eye, shoot it with something.
Shoot it. Shoot it. And we get the compass here, which is great. Because I actually need this to see what chests that I have left to get. So, I don't want to leave anything behind. There is one, yes, I will leave behind because I don't have the item to get it, so... It's pretty useless to come back and get it, even though it's just a rupee, but still, you don't want to leave a chest behind if you want to aim for 100%.
It's the no chest left behind, Grant.
The no chest left behind rant. Because there have been so many debates on, like, what counts as 100%. They say, you have to open every single chest in the game. You must. Anyway. It's weird. But this is the last Goron Elder in the dungeon. But he's gonna basically say, here you go, the last key shard. Combine all 3 key shards. And that's the big key.
This Elder's not as handsome as the last one that we saw, but you know they can't all be that beautiful.
Hey buddy, you wanna take that shirt off for me, baby? You're a big hunk of man.
Hey, you wanna buy some death sticks?
Chocolate. You wanna buy some chocolate, mate? I always hated it.
Kid, you want to buy some drugs? I got it right here, disguised as a
Whoa. We're getting TOS here.
It's alright, I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy over at YouTube. It's alright. We'll be okay.
He knows this guy who knows this guy who knows this guy. Who knew this guy who knew this guy who knew this guy. Who knew this guy's cousin. You know what I mean?
Whose cousin, and then who knew the YouTube CEO, Susan. So we'll be okay.
Susan. Susan. I don't know. Wait, which Susan are you talking about here?
What's her last name? Susan Wojcimagiveit or something. That's YouTube CEO. She's the big boss at YouTube. So you know, I know a guy.
I thought for a second you were gonna say the big boss of this game. I was like,
well, yes.
I don't know any boss in this game.
She's actually pulling the strings behind this entire thing secretly. The YouTube CEO is responsible for everything that's happened to Hyrule. Oh, you silly dodongos.
Yeah, this is the reason that I got the Hylian shield, so just be absolutely careful. Please. Oh, don't fall off. Pretty please.
Pretty pleased with the dongos.
It's more like with these slugs on top, because they like to hide from me.
Just got those. Got them. Got.
You jump across this, and you actually don't need to shoot them from the top anymore because you're already on a platform, so that's nice. There is a Dodongo up here. He will bother you, so I'm just gonna shoot his tail until he falls off and dies. There he goes.
His existence is bothering me, frankly, so I'm glad you took care of him.
His existence is affecting my existence.
I just simply could not tolerate him continuing to sit up there.
He was a nice Dodongo. May he rest in peace. He believed in what was furious and what was fiery sometimes. It's just so beautiful. It's great. It's great.
Anyway, you can open this gate.
I wouldn't use those words to describe that Dodongo. I knew him as a terrible, horrible guy.
He was a horrible man.
I'm glad you got rid of him. What a nuisance.
Well, it's great. Because I said, you know, why not? I can give that a shot sometimes. No!
No, we just talked about that. Oh my god.
Give us a second. I'm gonna actually dump my wallet. I hate this game sometimes. Want to leave? I can warp you right out. Sure.
Can you actually?
Fine.
Oh, okay. You can warp out with your chicken. The bird lady.
This is her son. This is her son.
Ew!
It's a testicle with ears on it.
Ew, what the hell? God.
It is a floating testicle with ears on it.
That is absolutely...
That's like the most disgusting description I could ever come up with for this guy. But still, I don't like saying that, but still, it's like the one thing that I can think of. Anyway, coming right outside. Let's actually head up here to the shop really quick. I just want to buy something anyway. If I can. We have Oocca, so we don't need to climb all the way up if we actually fail, I guess. So, I just wanted to buy something. Yes, you want to do this before you go into the dungeon. Empty your wallet as much as possible. Please, it will help you. You do not have to go back and backtrack. Anyway.
Greetings, brother.
I'm just going to buy some frickin' lantern oil and some milk.
I've got some lantern oil that you can lather up on your bum. And some, twerk all oiled up.
Oh, yes, please do.
Thank you for coming to my shop and browsing my beautiful wares.
Beautiful wares. Anyway. Just drink this milk, sippy sip, and get... Wow, put the iron boots on now. Jesus. And let's go back.
Oh,
I'm trying to make this snappy.
Why'd you pull out
Link is like...
weird chicken in front of my shop? Oh, he's freaky.
Get
the hell out of here.
I don't know if you saw Link's face, but he was like basically just looking at him. He's like, what is that thing floating around? It's a weird fairy thing.
Well, welcome back. Without further ado, we're off.
Ew.
That's like the one voice that I can come up with for her. It's ridiculous. Come back to this chest and we can finally open it. Beautiful. I hope that's the last chest that I ever see in this dungeon, excluding the other one that I'm going to leave behind. Ow. Shoot this down and we can leap across.
Oop, there we go.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I'm not going to make a Saints reference. I am not in any way, shape, or form condoning the NFL in this video.
This is an advertisement for the Super Bowl.
This is not net play. This guy's out of here, and because we have the bow and arrow, we can take these guys out. Awesome.
So what you're telling me is I shouldn't expect to see a Little Saw Plays advertisement during the Super Bowl.
Oh, brother. I wouldn't even go there. It's hopeless.
You didn't spend $7 million to get into the Super Bowl for an advertisement?
Exactly. Not exactly. But if you go back out here, you will see that there's more bokoblins up here with bow and arrows. With this bow and arrow, you can take them out from a distance, so you can actually put this to some use, which is beautiful.
You are just sniping those guys.
It's not bad if you actually, if the screen's big enough. They're really easy to spot. And go up to this Beamos right here, which has been sitting here for a while, actually. Shoot his eye out, and... What's weird is that you have to pull this one all the way back, because if you don't, the door's not going to open. It's like the weirdest thing.
Man, that thing is probably... These Beamos have probably been there for like thousands of years, and you're just putting their life to an end.
I'm basically saying, this is my job now.
It's just to get into a door.
Get some arrows for some of the good old preparation sometimes. Yeah, buddy. Coming up here, we have a switch.
Never hurts to have more arrows.
Never hurts to have more anything. You can never have too much joy in life sometimes. But with that, that is our...
How profound.
It's a giant door with a string on it. You make me circle my life around this dungeon for... This game makes me leave the dungeon. Wow, I missed it. It makes me leave the dungeon to go and buy something, and then come back for a sacred chest. And I have to come back again, because I don't have the item to get up there, which is kind of dumb.
Darn. did that on purpose.
We can shoot this thing down, and I have to come back. I have to do like the revolution again because it's gonna go back in the other direction. So I have to wait for it to drop me.
And
Bring me back.
Here we go.
Bam. Anyway,
And that's a 10 out of 10 landing.
I don't know how Link's like not suffering from pain from that, but still.
How his legs are still functional after that kind of impact.
These guys will snipe you from around the corner. You wanna? These guys are pretty smart. I can't really lie. So take as many. Was that 2? That was 2 of them. I'm not even joking. Synchronized
Nice.
fall sometimes.
They've been working on that a while.
They've been working on their sniping skill. They've been playing Call of Duty too much. Too much Call of Duty.
Getting that
Anyway,
kill
you got a
cam
chunk
going.
right here.
Oh my. Look at these fellas. They were all waiting back here. Guys, this is finally our time. Charge him, charge him.
They said, "Hey, old chap, you're gonna come back here to fight the boss. You gotta get through us first, you know."
You missed one. Don't worry. You get yours too. All y'all get to die.
I keep forgetting. Is there a fairy in one of these jars? I like to have one.
I don't know. Is there?
I like to have a fairy before actually. At least one fairy will help.
This seems like the kind of room that they would put a fairy in. But
They don't put a fairy out here. That's so weird.
blasphemous, frankly.
We have both the heart pieces. We got all but one chest we need to come back and get. The dungeon map, the compass, all 3 key shards. We've gotten everything. With our sentiments said and done, let's get to the boss. This boss,
And there's the big key.
I think you're gonna like.
Is he a neat fella?
Define neat fellow for me, if you can.
I don't know. Does he wearing a fancy little outfit and dressed up in a spiffy manner?
Yes, he's wearing a nice button-up vest with Louis Vuitton jeans and a nice purse.
Those are some Louis Vuitton chains he's got on right there.
Look at my golden bracelets. They're beautiful. You know? I paid $10,000 each for them. That's like a quarter of a mortgage sometimes.
Link,
I look fabulous.
But
fabulous.
But this boss, his name is. It's gonna come up at some point.
He's like, oh. He's like, basically, I'm so much fired. I don't want to spend more money.
Louis Vuitton flames. I'm gonna kill you with my Louis Vuitton flames.
But this is Twilight Igniter Fyrus. He's a pretty good boss. Not hard at all, actually. But what we want to do is you actually want to shoot him in the eye and not take damage at all.
Oh, surprise, surprise! The golden rule of Zelda is back once again. What did I say?
Grab his chain pretty much and throw on those iron boots and trip him over. If you get my meaning.
Oh, there we go. Classic, classic. He fell for the oldest trick in the book. Tripping the big creature. Something around their legs.
Anyway, once you get the first cycle down, it's actually not that hard to like hit him on the second go because his eye is like right there. Glow up, please. There you go.
What a fool, making his eye so apparently visible. His biggest flaw.
I'm giving his eye an injection to make him feel so much better.
Yeah, he doesn't think he looks beautiful enough. You're trying to help him. That you're grabbing his Louis Vuitton chains to trip him.
I'm basically ruining his $10,000 Louis Vuitton chains.
These are mine now, son.
Stop grabbing my chains. Those cost me lots of money. They're fabulous, you bastard.
You know, I believe in what's fashionable.
Oh, those
I believe in
chains
what's expensive.
those chains are worth more than your life. Unhand them. Oh.
Fine, Dad, I'm good or bad, I'm grounded. Go.
Now, son, you will stay in bed. Forever.
Oh my god. You're grounded forever. I'm gonna stab your eye and destroy you, son. God, parents are harsh these days.
Yep. And with that, Virus is done. We now have the second fused shadow in the game. 2 out of 3.
Oh, my Louis Vuitton will live forever.
And a heart piece falls out of his eye.
He really
What?
he's,
But a bit of a plot twist. That is actually an ally that came out of that boss.
Oh?
I'm going to show you in just a second.
Oh, I see.
Well done. Now we have 2 fused shadows. You know, you've been very helpful so far, so as a reward, I'll tell you an interesting story. Zant. That's the name of the King of Darkness who cast this pall of shadows over your world.
He's very strong. You will be nothing to him in your current state. But Zant will never be my king. I have nothing but scorn for his supposed strength. Not that your Zelda is much better. It still appalls me that this world of light is controlled by that princess, a carefree youth, a life of luxury. How does that teach duty? But I guess I shouldn't begrudge her in her circumstances of her life. She didn't choose it after all, and I would never wish harm on her. No, as long as I can get my hands on the fused shadows, I'll be just fine. You are one self-centered imp, you know? Minna. Jesus. Well, just one more left, shall we? Hee. Getting right past your story of Zant. Again, this is our actual companion, which is kind of funny. Go up to him and what is it? Before we actually do that, get the heart piece.
Oh yeah,
not forgetting
don't want to forget that. Oh, that's right. I mean, the elders did say earlier that about this guy coming up here.
Yep, and what does he have to say? What does he have to say?
What am I doing here? My head. It aches.
Uh-huh. And what do you suppose that I can do about it?
Oh, wait, why am I
Advil?
surrounded by all these Louis Vuitton chains? What happened?
Honey, do you have Advil? Why am I rubbing my neck like this?
Oh,
So much pain. I can't remember anything.
Anyway. But that's said and done. We are done with the Goron Mines. Let's work out of this B. I'm not going to say that word because it's... Apparently that's... Philly. Anyway.
beat me up, Scotty.
Beat me up, Scotty. Yeah.
Beat me up.
Yeah,
God.
literally make a Star Trek reference in this. I'm actually not going to save because I want to make sure the footage actually went through, so... I'll save once I'm confident that it actually, like, went through with it.
Fair enough. Another day of the life of Link, or LSP.
North of here, across the plain past the Great Stone Bridge, and the lands guarded by the spirit of Lanayru. You shall find the one you seek. LSP.
Why, it's a young lad.
His name is Colin, actually. But there is another one that we're looking for. Her name is Ilya, and she is the girl that has actually lost her memory in this game. So she's like the Shadow of Hedgehog of Twilight Princess, pretty much.
Oh, I see.
Ilya. You've got to save Ilya. Those monsters left me with the other kids, but they must have taken her somewhere else. Whenever I thought I couldn't go on, I would think of you and Ilya and hold on, LSP. See? I'm fine now. Remember what I told you back in Ordon, LSP? When I grow up, I'm gonna be just like you, LSP. So you don't have to
How
worry about
sweet.
me anymore. Yeah, and I know that he looks like a girl, but that's actually a boy. It's actually a boy, so don't worry. Leave the children to me. I will watch over them, I swear it. Alright, Bob Marley. In Hyrule, countless tales are told of this ancient hero, and your deeds bring them all to mind. May the graces of the great high goddesses who shaped Hyrule bear you on your way.
What a nice, heartwarming picture this is.
It is a very nice, heartwarming picture. But,
Bob Marley
unfortunately...
and his children.
Wait, say that again?
Bob Marley and his children.
I thought you said something completely different.
No. No.
I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure for myself. Anyway, with that out of the way, I think that's going to be a good spot to wrap up this episode, because that was quite an eventful dungeon, we can all say. So, Whatja, I want to say that I hope you enjoyed this episode, and maybe this will be a factor for you to decide whether or not you want to get the game or not. Based upon
Well,
what you've seen so
I do
far.
have the game. I just never got around to playing it. I would have to find it, but yeah, I definitely liked it. So I mean, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. I have fun watching some of this game, and like I said, I do think it's a good game from what I have seen of it, which is not much, but I definitely would like to either play it someday or definitely check out more of it here. So
Oh, absolutely.
this was a nice little way to experience a little piece of it. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and before recording, I did mention, like, I was gonna, like, take Wojid through, like, just the ending of the boss, just the ending of that dungeon, but I was like, you know what, to make it fair, I think I might just take him through, like, an entire dungeon to, like, see if he actually likes the atmosphere of it.
There's Bob Marley!
What is he
doing back there?
Why
He wants
are
to
you
get
behind
it. He's invading this outro. He's invading this outro. He does. He doesn't.
What do you want? Much has happened here, but at last I feel joy beginning to return to this village thanks to you. Even Tello, who was saddened by the incident with Colin, has last recovered his good spirits. The young boy who dearly wanted dearly to help, so he keeps watch from the observation platform now. The lookout platform is high above the bomb shop. I am sure that if you were to go there and didn't speak to Tello, he'd be happy. Well, we're gonna do that in the next episode.
Bob Marley was just too jealous. He couldn't let you end this video without getting in one more time.
He's like, I have an outro too.
Whoa, were you gonna shoot Bob Marley? Oh my god.
Probably not, but anyway.
You'll have to
in the next
think
episode.
about that.
Yeah. In the next episode, we're gonna get a ton of collectibles. A ton. But for now, we're gonna end it off. Again, Wojja, thanks for being on. Go subscribe to
Thanks for
Wojja,
having
link in the
me.
description below. Absolutely. And again, stay tuned. Subscribe, like, comment, or anything else. Peace out, everyone.
Goodbye.